Hey guys, welcome back to another one. So today we're going to be starting off our trap line. So it's just going to be me and my fiance today, and then it's just going to be me checking traps for the next couple days until my buddy comes down for the week of trapping we're doing. So we're going to start off just by doing some simple dog proofs. Right now it's snowing quite heavily, and then in a couple days it's actually going to melt and then refreeze. So a lot of trouble with footholds, so we're just not going to do that here. We're just going to go ahead and do dog proofs for now. We're going to do a strategy called carpet bombing. As you can tell, it means that you're just going to put a ton down. We have a couple properties real close to where we live that we want to just get out of the way. So we can use the dog proofs elsewhere, obviously. So we're going to basically carpet bomb these areas, get all the coons out that we want, release the smaller ones, obviously, and the possums that we're bound to catch. And yeah, then we kind of go from there, and then we're able to, once it's supposed to get nice and hot out around the 40s, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And then once that happens, we'll actually put out footholds. So we got our backpack full of dog proofs and tools. We got the pack basket ready to go, and then we have the spare dog proofs that will refill the backpack when we get there. So yeah, let's get started. So we made it to the first location here. So it's just along this old fence line that used to be public/private property, but now it's all public. So this is going to be our first public land set here in this season. So it's just nice because they're going to be following it until a break happens, which is right over there. But we're just going to sit right over here so they don't get tangled up into anything. So we have our dog proof right here. I have a golf ball for the mice. And then I'll go ahead and get this set for us here. If this one wants to cooperate. It has snow all packed up in there. It doesn't like to work. Yeah, this one sucks. Let's see. Grab one of these Duke ones we got. So it's just a little disposable stake, one-time use. So we'll go ahead and we'll grab that. So this is a push or pull. So either way that it happens, it'll still work. I'll grab the tool here. Last year we're losing all the tools out here, so paint them orange, it's not such a problem anymore. Out. So it is snowy, but it has yet to actually have any actual frost in the ground, so it's just fine. And then what else we'll do is we'll kind of disturb the area here. Cameraman just fell down. Hard to stand. And then we got our dog cat food mix with some bacon grease as well. So we'll go ahead, grab some of that. You just need enough to get below the trigger. As this is a push or pull, no matter what they do, it's gonna get set off. Put the golf ball on top. Throw a couple kernels around just so they can smell it. Like those bigger pieces you can't really use anyways, because they'll just clog it up. Put that in there. And if we do catch any possums, we'll just release them since there's no real market yet, though I think some are trying to find a market. They've not yet gotten there. Then we'll just put some of that glow coon lure right on the golf ball so they can smell it. Put that right there. We set the anchor and everything, so this one's ready to go. So we'll get on to the next one here. So we're at the next location. It's pretty close to the other one. As I said a little earlier, we're just going to kind of be carpet bombing this area, so we have this one all done so we can use these traps elsewhere in the season. So we'll actually go ahead. That's not a wolf thing. We'll just grab the disposable here. So this is a nice obvious trail. It meets up with a deer trail right back there. So this one goes right over there. So we'll just follow this one. We'll put it right in the trail so they can't miss it. And a good thing that you need to remember, especially with like footholds for coons so they don't eat off their paws basically, is have something in the area for them to mess with instead of your trap. So they can just chew on the stick, they can mess with the stick all they want instead of messing with your trap. So that's a good way if you're having a lot of chew offs to actually not have as many. If you don't really have these other kinds of traps at your disposal. So we'll just crank this thing all the way down. Just like that. Pull it out. Set it just like that. And with dog proofs, you're not trying to be sneaky. They know you're here. So we try to make them sit right in the middle of the road for them. We'll go ahead, stick some food in there. So it's supposed to be cold tomorrow as well, so none of this snow is going to make it too wet for them. Give them some freebies around so they know it's here. Just like that. And since we're just messing with coons for this outing, we don't really have to worry about scent anywhere in there. It'll be just fine. Go ahead, stick our golf ball on for the mice. And lastly, we'll just toss a little lure on there since we have it. Might as well use it. And just like that. Stick the leaf right next to it. And yeah, so we got this one all done. We'll probably put maybe one or two more on this area here, and then we'll get moving to the next one. So we made it to the next set, so we're at the next fence line here. So we'll just put one on this side, we'll put another one on the other side, and we'll make a big disturbance here so they know something's going on. So they're curious animals, they'll come right over to it. A lot of these areas are just rinse and repeat, you know. golf ball, pop it on top, and toss our lure on. Perfect. Stick that right by it. So yep, we'll just hop across the fence here and get to the next one. So, as you guys can see, we literally have the other trap right across. Like I said, if a trap's good for one, it's good for two. So we'll go ahead and get the second one put up here. Alright, so that's probably the last one for this property. So we have 4 out here. We'll get moved on to the next one. So we're at the next property. So we have a river right here. And we have permission on both sides on each side of the highway. So for this side, there's an ATV trail right behind us. But since the neighbors can see us, we figured we'll go right down here since the quickest way to get kicked off the property is for the neighbor to complain to the person. So we'll just keep it all the way so they can't see it. It's right next to the trail. They should be able to find it. And then we'll probably set 2 more going this way through this once we find a couple more trails. So we'll get the first one here into the ground. And then for this one, what we'll actually do is we'll spread the food going onto the trail so they'll get lured down here actually. So as that's going to be their main travel way, but since we can't set right on the trail, we have to work with what we got. Toss that there. Grab our lure. Just like that. Perfect. And we'll actually stick this up over here. Good trailing scent to it. So yeah, we'll get moving to the next one. So we made it to the next location, which is actually about 5 feet away from the last trap. I changed my mind. We're gonna set 2 at this location. That's just such a good trail. Can't pass up the opportunity to get a double. So we'll go ahead and get the second one in the ground for us. If you have the traps to do it, always put 2 in the ground. Just like that. Pull that taut. Set this down. Something you guys didn't see is I disturbed the area quite a bit at that last set, and we'll also do it at this same spot as well. Just set a couple of rounds since we already have a pretty good amount going up to the trail here. It should work just fine. Not going to put lure on this one or anything since it should get drawn by the one right next to it. No need to waste lure where you don't need it. Then we'll grab the golf ball here. And boom. The golf ball also helps not just with mice, but it also helps with the raccoons. If you don't have sticks or stuff in the area, they'll play with that, they'll gnaw on it, they'll just mess with it, especially if you have lure on it. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get to the next one here. So we made it to our last location for this side of the property. So we have the river right over here, we have the road up the hill. So for our regulations, we have to stay X amount of feet away from the river, which we are plenty far away. And then also roads, you have to stay a good healthy distance as well. So we'll go ahead and get this set here. Since our water trapping doesn't actually open for a week, we have to abide by those regulations until it opens up, and then obviously you can set traps there. But just for as of right now, this is what we gotta do. So we'll go ahead. Made a disturbance here, so even if they're traveling over there going up the hill, there's a lot of brush right there, so they'll probably just walk along to get over here. That's where most of the raccoons get hit on the road, so it'll work just fine for it. So they'll actually be able to see this when they're up there. Got that one. Go ahead, set it. And we'll just scatter them up, since that's the area I expect them to be coming from. Grab the golf ball, toss it on top. With raccoons, it's fairly simple as long as you set on sign and all that. It works. They aren't as fussy as coyotes or anything of the sort. And then we'll actually go ahead and use this stick that's sitting right here. Nice scent post, so we'll go ahead and get moved to the next location. So we made it to the other side of the river, so the next section of property, and here we'll be setting a double down on this truck trail, and then we'll also put a double up on top next to the cornfield. So we'll go ahead and get this started here. So typically you'd want to set directly on the trail that they're using, but since there are still trucks using this, I don't want to be getting my traps run over. So we'll go ahead and just not do that and avoid the problem. So we got that one here, put right there. I'll grab the next one here. And set it right over here for us. You want to make sure that they're out of reach of each other, or else you're going to have a coon with 2 hands and 2 traps. Which is a little bit of a waste. So, and it's not too fun for them either. So we'll actually go ahead and put the stakes on opposite sides here. Just like that. We'll go ahead, pull up to set it. our bait in there. Just enough to fill up underneath the trigger. We'll go ahead, toss a little onto the trail here for us. Just like that. Grab our golf ball right there. And we'll grab our lure here for us too. Just like that. So I'm just going to put a lure on one since there's no real reason to put it on both. They're right at the same location, so if one smells one of them, they'll smell both. Grab our stuff that we need for the other one here. Go ahead, set the trap this way. Plenty distance. And here. And boom, so this one's all done. We'll get moved on to the next one. So we'll go ahead and get this area. So this is right on the edge of the field. Good travel way. I was gonna set a double up here, but at this point I think I'm gonna set one up here and right at the bottom of the hill. Since it's so steep, they're either going to be running on the top or the bottom, so either way I want to get to them. So we'll set one up here, and then we'll go ahead, go back down, and set the other one for us. Hard to see with all the snow if you're even hitting the stake. So we'll go ahead, set it right on the line. Put some food in so it is a push or pull. So you don't want too much bait in there or else it could set it off prematurely. So we got that one. I'm not going to put any lure on it. Since it's right on a travel way, it doesn't need any. Go ahead, toss the golf ball on. And we'll get moving to the next. So we made it to right at the bottom of the hill here. So this is the other travel path that they'll be taking, so figure we would cover both approaches here. Get that one ready. This one, there's not going to be any real trucks or anything coming over here from what I could tell. But we'll still keep it a little bit off just in case. You never know. Get that one started. Actually move it over just a hair. Just like that. We'll set it. Grab our food. Toss a little bit out. Not too much. And our golf ball here. And it's set, ready to go. Good eye peel everywhere. Hopefully we got something tomorrow. It's supposed to stop snowing here in a couple hours. But if not, it should be the next day for it since it's going to be nice and warm. So yeah, we'll get moving to the next property. So we actually decided to call it quits for the day since I needed to check permission on one more property prior to putting out the rest of the traps, which would have been the 5 that we have left. So we just decided to stick with them. That way tomorrow when we go and check the traps, actually, we're able to go and actually see the game trails that are going on any small animal. And then we're able to set the remaining 5 wherever those trails are. That way we don't have to pull and re-put in different places. But yeah, so we'll go ahead, check them tomorrow. You guys should see that video hopefully soon here. Just once we get that edited. And yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, if you have comments about how your season's going or when your season starts, feel free to leave it in the comments down below.